my soul, feeling the loss of control in the spirit, so colorful. If you feel it, then let's go to a place where you belong. Give you strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Rise, rise, keep on rising, rise, rise, rise.
Take me home to the banks of the riverside. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best. Yes, it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the riverside.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the Toon Review YouTube channel. Tonight it is the Fan Forum. Quite a bit to go through. Obviously, the Everton game, the Aston Villa game, also Kieran Trippier's injury, which Alex has been confirmed as a fracture. I'm not sure that makes any difference as to how long he's going to be out for. I know Baz was saying earlier on that it could be a little sooner rather than later because it's a fracture, not a break. But to me, it's the same bloody thing, if you ask me. So I have a feeling he's going to be out for a while yet.
Yeah, it's been varied from everybody, hasn't it? I think Billy said 80 days. I saw a doctor put that it's an average of 11 weeks for pro athletes for that injury. Apparently, it's not a very common injury, so we've not got tons of information on it. But some people have said 4 to 6, so it's no idea.
Well, it's a metatarsal, isn't it? I mean, the metatarsal, it was a few years back when everybody seemed to be breaking the metatarsal bone, and then it went away. And now it's back again.
Football boots, maybe. Don't know. It's a strange one.
Well, they're like slippers these days, aren't they? They're really crazy. Julie says, "Did you enjoy your surprise on Friday, Paul? So lovely to meet up with you all." Yes, I did. If those of you who don't know, I was due to go out for a meal with Susan on Friday night. Turned up at the restaurant and happened to just be surprised by Julie and Dave, her partner, and of course Danielle and Lee, which I knew nothing about. So it was a brilliant night, really good laugh. So thank you to everybody for getting that arranged. It was a lovely surprise. Right, we've got people waiting to come in. We've got Ryan, Chippers, Dr. Happy. We've got Jace, and I think we have Dublin Magpie. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good
evening.
It's a stacked panel.
Yeah. Is that mic sounding okay now for you, Jason? Not too loud, not blowing your ears out, Ryan?
The moment you come on, it's like, good one.
In my ears, they're bleeding.
Come on.
Yeah. I had I had one of the settings up a little bit too high, but is that good for you now, gents? Are you happy now?
Oh, very happy, yes.
Yeah, nice sultry tones that you have there now, Paul.
Of course. Lisa's excellent result on Sunday against Villa. Hopefully more of the same against West Ham at the weekend. Jason's in the house. We've got Paul Sales coming on. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, mate. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad.
How
are you and the dog?
How are you, man?
I'm live. Get off. Lisa, Lampard and Gerrard supposed to be the two best English managers in modern day football. Yet Lampard got beat 3-1 and Gerrard got beat 1-0 off Eddie Howe's Mags. Ryan, what did you think of the game against? Obviously, we haven't done a fan forum since the Everton and Villa games. So, how impressed have you been?
Well, I thought the Everton game, I thought like the whole team was lights out, to be honest. Like everyone just put in a shift and we're so good. I thought ASM just put on a show that day, and it was good to see. And like we just dominated Everton, man. Like that two-man midfield they had didn't stand a chance against Willock, Joe Linton, and Shelby. And it was just good to see a good overall performance. And then the Villa game, like that was more of like a grindy result that we expect in like a dogfight. We got our
which we
3
never,
points.
which we never seem to get anything from in the past. By the way, when the games have been like that, we've always seemed to struggle.
Yeah,
But
that's the other thing
we
too.
did well.
Lately, like when we're at home defending the game, like I feel more comfortable now since Watford. Like I'm not like my heart's not pumping at all because like I feel more comfortable with the team actually defending because we're more composed and they know their jobs and they fought till the end and it is like we move, man. Like Aston Villa wasn't the greatest performance. I thought our front three were not at the races like they were against Everton.
Yeah.
But when we move.
Definitely. Toon Dave says, even lads and lasses, Paul, hope your boy's doing okay with his COVID. My son's recovered from his bout now after a good few days of fever last week and weakness. Thanks. He's actually on the sofa at the minute. He's not doing too well. He's got no energy and nothing. So hopefully in a few days he'll start picking up again, but it's hit him quite hard. Ginger says, right, so Paul, we know we are after a director of football and Brighton man is supposed to come to us, but why haven't we gone for the man who made Liverpool great, Michael Edwards, over Dan Ashworth? I don't know, Ginger, to be honest, but I'd also say to you, well, let's give Dan Ashworth a chance because he's done a magnificent job at Brighton, to be fair. He's been superb. Some of the players that he's brought into Brighton have been absolutely outstanding. Look where Brighton have gone since he came in as director of football. There's a lot to look forward to with Dan Ashworth, I think. So for me, I'm not even looking at anybody else now. Dan Ashworth looks like he's going to get the job. So I say back him 100%. It's pointless talking about anybody else. We're getting who we're getting at the end of the day, and he comes with a fantastic CV. Sean says, nice to see you, Paul. Hope your little boy is getting better. I missed you on the Four Horsemen show last night. Get Baz and Peter in the courtroom on the next show. They love Emil Kraft. Okay. Maybe Baz loves Kraft as they have hair love between them. Not sure about Pete. Mine could be the love of Timothy. Okay.
I saw there's a Four Horsemen channel because there's, of course, 3 copyrights last night.
Yeah. Well, listen, Baz doesn't know how to control the copyrights, unfortunately, and some of the videos that were played were copyrighted. So we have set basically a Four Horsemen channel up, so it'll work a lot better doing it that way. So we'll see what we do in the future with that. Hope the lads okay, Paul. Summer best wishes. Looking forward to the show. Cheers, bud. Jason, now we won't talk about your Everton watch along because
God, no.
I know that was an absolute belting success, forgetting to hit the live button and doing the whole show off air, which
Wait, what?
That was a massive Sinclair, mate. So well done to you on that one. But on a more serious note, mate, I mean, we've got to be pleased with 3 wins out of 3 now. The Everton and Villa games were massive for us to get something out of it, and we did what we had to do.
Exactly. 3 wins out of 3. First time we got 3 in a row since November 2018. Funny enough that we played a new defender in that game, and we haven't had a brand new defender since 2018. So it just proves that we needed a bloody defender to get 3 wins in a row again. A brilliant game. Everton, I think it's because I've been so drained from work that I didn't click live. I was just so out of it. But whatever, I had a great game now. So that was all. Villa.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
It was no. I got a moan about ASM on there. I thought he went back to his old ways of ball hogging. But other than that, good game.
I mean, you know what it is? I think with the SM, look, we're going to have to admit that the guy's an enigma, right? He is going to have these games where he's brilliant. He's going to have these games where he doesn't play so well, but he's going to have these games where he's quiet for 89 minutes and then does something for 1 minute that gives us a goal or creates a goal or something like that. And we as fans, I think, are just going to have to get used to that at the end of the day. It is what it is. And we can't do anything about it. He is who he is. And I don't think any coaching or anything differently is going to make him play any different to what he is now. I think we've got him, and we've got him for the foreseeable future. And let's just hope that he has much more positives than negatives. Yeah, he wasn't too great against Villa. Superb against Everton, but let's see what happens. I mean, Louis, I mean, you were at the game, and I mean, it was a fight to the end. You know, we grafted a result against Villa. We played really well against Everton. But I think the more impressive one was the Villa win, because in the past, we'd have probably folded in that game and lost everything.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, exactly, like, we would, in situations like that, I mean, it's happened this season, we've been on a 1-0 winning, and then we end up conceding, like, in dire end of the game. Villa get a goal, and then it's ruled out for offside. Was it offside? You know, that's a debate one day, but I think we did well to just hold on for as long, but it was a dogfight. I mean, the amount of fouls we made, apparently, from this referee in that game, was disgraceful. I mean, he was blowing ever since the offside goal was ruled out. The goal was ruled out for Aston Villa. He just blew for every single time the Villa player went on the floor. I mean, it was poor refereeing. I was screaming. Well, people behind me were screaming more than me, to be honest. I mean, we did well just to hold on. You can see the commitment. You can see the team's growing in confidence. I mean, Ryan Fraser's getting stronger when he's going forward. I mean, Trippier, another great free kick. Unfortunately injured, so we'll have to somehow recover from that. I don't know how, but you know, and Manquillo is possible to be out as well with tendon damage. Am I right?
Yeah, well, we haven't heard anything from the club yet officially about Manquillo. There's been rumours, as there normally is. Some people seem to know more than others on social media, and you know, they're saying, "Oh, it's, you know, he'll be playing." Listen, I'm going off nothing until I hear from the club officially. I'm sick to death of hearing all these things saying, "Oh, confirmed this, confirmed that." All bollocks. You know, it's all bollocks until it's actually said by the club. Yeah, and I'm getting pissed off with it myself. You know, especially on YouTube as well. You know, there's loads going on YouTube now saying, "Oh, you know, confirmed this, confirmed that," and there's nothing confirmed, and it misleads people as far as I'm concerned. Until the club actually come out and say what is going on or confirm what is the matter, what is the injury, then we don't know. And, you know, nobody knows, because, you know, I'm hearing people say, "Oh, I've got a person who, you know, works in the hospital and has told me
bullshit.
this." No, because it's Data Protection Act, and you're not allowed to discuss medical records with anybody. So it's absolute cock rot, right? It's bullshit. I'm getting fed up with it, but you know what I mean? Listen, guys out there, if you want a channel who breaks news, right? Who breaks news officially, then it's this one, right? I'm not going to mislead anybody and say, "Oh, this is confirmed or that's confirmed," without it being coming from the club itself. Just like I did with Kieran Trippier's injury yesterday. I waited for the club to announce what was the injury, and I released a video. I'm not going to suspect anything because it misleads the public, and I'm not having it. It's bollocks. Anyway, Chippers, I mean, 3 wins on the trot. Can we make it 4?
Why not? Well, there's no pressure on everyone. I mean, we've got a 4-point gap. If you look at the team's fixtures below us, they've got to play. I mean, Norwich are playing. Is it Liverpool away? Is it Norwich are playing Liverpool away? I think they're all away from home this weekend. I think we're all away from home, and I can't see why not. We've got a good. I think we've won 2 of the 3 visits at Upton Park. So, but one thing I will say.
Go on.
I think people have said about a bounce and all that, and why it didn't happen early on. I think we're seeing the bounce now because the players are actually fit enough to play football. I mean, I think early on the players weren't even fit enough in the last 90 minutes, but you can see now that they can last 90 minutes and they're outrunning the opposition, which says to me how much work he's putting in off the field to get them to a respectable level. I mean, that tells you how much the previous
signings that have come in. I mean, some of them have really, you know, hit the ground running. I mean, you know, without a doubt. Gary says, "No, Danielle tonight, Paul. She's running late. She's been very, very busy with work and stuff like that. So she's running late. She may make the show, she may not, but we'll see. But she is fine. She's just running late tonight, unfortunately." Darren says, "Hi, folks. Love the show." Neil says, "Fingers crossed for Manquillo fit for Saturday." Callum says, "What you think game will go?" Well, we'll discuss the game on the review show. Brian says, "I think 15 more points will keep us up. That's 1 point per match. Wow, it's like an episode of Catchphrase with all those boxes on screen." I like to go blankety blank myself. John says, "I think there's virtually no chance now of us being relegated. Am I right?" Alex, I mean, you had some good stats for Dan Burn on Saturday. I mean, he was absolutely rock solid, wasn't he?
He was. I mean, to be honest, he was so rock solid. There aren't that many stats for him because Villa stayed away from him. They targeted Shah, which is why he was in the wars so much. Because they, after 2 or 3 duels, they went sod that, and they weren't trying to push his side anymore. He only got more involved with the fullback changes. He was just so solid. Leadership on the ball, off the ball, pressures. I mean, one of the reasons we brought him in was for his pressures, because despite his size and his age, it's just pressuring all the time. Just perfect performance. If we can get anything remotely close to that consistently for the rest of the season, then he was worth more than what we paid. So incredible stuff.
Yeah. Dave, I mean, he was outstanding, Dan Burn, wasn't he? And it's just good to see somebody like that come in. And just like I said on the review show, you know, he didn't just clear the ball. You know, it wasn't just headed into stands or anything. When he headed it down to the midfield or his defensive partners, he was just so composed, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was real comfortable. Like, he just slotted straight in and he made a difference straight away. And I hope to see him get a good run of games and really make a name for himself up there. Like, he's playing for his boyhood club. He's gonna give everything. Like,
yeah, you could tell, Paul, it meant the world to him, didn't it? You know, pulling on the black and white shirt when he came out, looking into the stands, and his performance and the man of the match, and it just all gelled.
Yeah, it did. He just looks so good. The fact the full team just looks totally different. It's unbelievable how things can change in a matter of a month. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. I think, and we've got to praise the manager and the coaching team for that, because you know they've got these guys playing. I mean, John Joe Shelvey. You know, I mean, when would we ever say that he literally was all over the pitch? You know, I mean, his defensive work. You know, he was sprinting back. He was just all over the place. And, you know, the change in Joe Linton, which is remarkable. And I still can't believe that he is becoming one of my favourite players after the absolute slaughter and I gave him last season and the season before. But hey ho, you know, credit to Big Joe. He's took his new position seriously. He's gone for it, and he's becoming one of the top stars in the team now. First game on the team.
This is why Villa lost ultimately, right?
Yeah.
Gerrard underestimated that midfield. And they couldn't play through it.
Yep.
That's why the plan changed to the flanks later on, and it was too little too late. They massively underestimated Shelvey, as you said, his improvements, and Joe Linton, and it didn't work through the middle for him.
Yeah, definitely. Ian says, I hope the Ben's okay, Paul. Sinclair at it again. Shearer in his prime would be worth 200 million, but Cantona would be worth 300.
He did not say that, did he?
You see what he's just tweeted as well?
Oh, no, there's another legend
match
tweet.
day, Man United versus Brighton.
Yeah. Well, listen, it says it all, right?
Come on, John.
Right, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have a rant on Sinclair now, even though he's my mate, right? But here we go.
Can I just say so? Right. The other day when I did my after-match live show, I sent a message to John to see if he fancied coming on. And that's when I caught a glimpse that he was on an Arsenal channel. And about 37 seconds after he had come off saying, thanks to this Arsenal channel for having me on, I sent a message saying, oh, do you fancy coming on? Took about an hour later, and he says, "Oh, sorry, mate, I've only just got your message. I've been asleep."
Listen, right. The bottom line is, right. A couple of weeks ago, I did some intensive work for him behind the scenes, watching his videos and making notes for him to try and get his. He wanted some.
I'm gonna read through these comments quickly.
Yeah, he wanted feedback, right? So I studied it. I gave him feedback. And I said, look, you need a niche on your channel. You need to do this or that. You need to decide if you're a Newcastle channel or a football channel. And he said, I'm a Newcastle channel. And then, you know, some of the stuff he's done well. But now, you know, he's doing, like, for me, as the Toon Review, I would never do a show about Arsenal Football Club. I would never do a show about Manchester United Football Club because they're nothing to do with me. I couldn't give a rat's ass about Arsenal or Manchester United. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Manchester United can get relegated. I don't care about them. I dislike them immensely. And I would never, on my Newcastle United channel, put out a show which says Man United in crisis. You know,
Oh, Paul, it was
yesterday,
United in crisis.
yes,
It was
United in
crisis, wasn't
crisis.
it?
That's right. Yes, and he does call them United all the time. And yesterday, it was Kevin Keegan's birthday, right? It was me and Dad's birthday. But what does John do? He says, "Happy birthday to Edison fucking Cavani." Now, come on. Let's be serious here. As John would say, let's be real, right? That is not a Newcastle United channel. And I'm stating that now, John, if you're watching. You, my
Been a
friend,
football channel
are a
forever.
football channel. And that is fair enough. But you are not Newcastle. You can do as many Newcastle shows as you want, my friend. But you have just proved over the weekend. You then did a one about Bournemouth getting knocked out the cup by a bloody little team. You then you start talking about bloody Boreham Wood and all this shit, right? I couldn't give a rat's monkey's chimp's buttocks about it, to be fair. I'm called the Toon Review. I do Newcastle United. I don't want to talk about Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal. I couldn't give a toss. So
we'll be on SAFC soon.
And then, but then, right? The one thing that I told him to do was to schedule his shows properly. And twice now in the last week, he's booked 2 shows
at
the same time on the same day. Last week, John, you booked Eddie Howe's press conference on the same night you did the match review when Eddie Howe hadn't even done his press conference.
Well, you know, here's a funny thing. I sent in Jason's Discord. I got a notification, I think, last night or 2 nights ago at 7 o'clock. That I got notification of John's press conference reaction versus Everton.
Yeah.
It's like when your grandma sends a text message twice just to make sure it's went through.
Oh, God.
I don't care what he says. He has a soft spot for Manchester United, and he can say, no, I don't, all the time he wants. He is a closet red. He has a soft spot for Manchester United. Absolutely, undoubtedly.
Speaking of Manchester
he
United,
literally is Steve Bruce, isn't he? He literally is a version of Steve Bruce, isn't he?
Of course he is.
A player that we're...
You know what's funny? I'd have
Hang on 2 seconds, 2 seconds, Ryan. Go on, Alex.
Sorry.
Bissouma is a player we're interested. We have been interested in, especially with possibly Ashworth coming in.
Yeah.
I don't normally want to interrupt for stats, but 34 minutes into the Man United game, and Bissouma is put up 5 tackles and interceptions and 30 out of 31 passes in half an hour.
Yeah.
That's like a 90-minute stat. He's done it in half an hour. He's embarrassing that team.
Yeah.
We need that man in our team. As long as everything is good legally, that boy can play football. That is ridiculous. That is a record stat, that is, for half an hour.
Go on, Ryan.
Oh, I was just saying I actually somehow had a dream last night where Steve Bruce was manager of a pizza shop. But he was wearing a black polo.
Oh, God. So he's doing that way,
Ryan.
You're doing a live stream about it.
Yeah, I don't understand what goes through your head, Ryan, to be honest. It's very strange. Edwards is the guy to come in when you're built to find buy the individual expensive gems. Julie says, I like the show. Please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, join our family. Paul, plenty of vitamin C and zinc, and he will kick it, bud. Yeah, that's what he's getting at the minute, but he's just not responding at the minute. Mikey says, do we need to play Bruno on the weekend? We don't want to go behind before bringing him on. Jace, is it time that we saw Bruno? And if so, how do you implement him into the team when the midfield's doing so well?
I want to see him play. I don't want to see the fact that we've signed this player for so much money and he's just coming on for a couple of minutes each game. It just sends me straight back to our Bruce and Carroll connection, where Carroll would come on for 20 seconds, earn his pound, and he's off again. I want to see when he came on, when he had his debut against Everton. Within a couple of minutes that he was on, we saw his quick step in and his a little cheeky back heel. You think, wow, he's just done in 2 minutes. Amazing stuff. It's going to make the rest of the league fear him if he plays a full 90 minutes. You think he's going to play against Villa? He doesn't play. He comes on again in extra time. Think, come on, we really need to play him. At that point, I was like, just get anyone off, just play him. Ideally, I want to see maybe Willock go off, but I don't know. Willock's starting to put in a performance. It's difficult to think. I like the 4-3-3 formation. I don't want to change that. But it's difficult to find out where we're going to put him. But I want him to play.
Louis, where do we go with Bruno? I mean, somebody made a ridiculous comment the other day saying, "Oh, put him at right back." I mean, for Christ's sake, we've had enough of that shit with Steve Bruce. I'm not. If we're going to play Bruno, we have to play him. Where we spent the money for him.
It must have been the same
right
person
back.
who said Miggy at right back as well, because I've heard that a
seen
few
as
times.
Well, yeah.
Ah,
Jesus Christ! Listen, I mean, look. For me, I agree with Jason Louis. As much as Willock has improved the last couple of games, you cannot leave Shelvey and Joe Linton out of that side at the minute.
Oh, exactly. I mean, Willock, he's putting in performances now, but I think it's too late. I mean, you've got Bruno sitting on the bench and then just coming in on the 90 minutes and then stoppage time just to make sure the game is all set and done, and we get the 3 points. I mean, start him against West Ham and let's see what he can do. I mean, he can play alongside Joe Linton. He could get something out of Joe Linton. He could get a goal. If Bruno sets him up for a goal, you never know if he goes forward. Bruno,
yeah,
he's good. He's a good player.
And he can score goals as well, Bruno. I think people forget that. Before he signed, he was basically linked as being, this Tiote Kabai type player all mixed into one. If he is that kind of player, we have a superstar, Paul, don't we?
Oh, yes, definitely. A right superstar. I still can't believe we signed him, to be honest. Just can't believe it. When have we ever signed anybody like that for a long, long time? It's just unbelievable.
I mean, listen, as much as... I mean, we've got to utilize the best players we have now in the run-in. We have to, because we need the best players on the pitch. And I agree in a way with Eddie just sort of blending sort of Bruno into the Premier League and things like that. But look, he's proved it twice on the sidelines. He has been itching to get on the pitch. He is ready to go. He's match fit. He's ready to go. I mean, Dublin, we've got to get him in there, haven't we?
Yeah, I would drop Willock for him, and I really do want to see him get a full game, But like Eddie Howe has his reasons, and at the minute, like Eddie's doing everything right. He's got the team winning.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
you don't want to change a winning side too much. I understand that, but I would love to see him get a full 90 and see what he can do. But
yeah,
you have to trust Eddie.
Yeah. Now, just my God, Paul's gone to Australia. We've lost him. He's gone. He's gone. Don't know what's happened there. Now, just on a little side issue from Newcastle, this little short-arm twat has been in the news again.
In the fight in the pub.
Now,
I saw when I woke up this morning.
I mean, listen, I heard Laura Woods talking about this morning and saying that, professional football, it doesn't matter what job he does, he should be able to walk into a pub without, without the abuse. He should be able to live a normal life, etc., and shouldn't have to put up with the crap. Good evening, Danielle.
Good evening, all. Good evening.
He shouldn't. He should be. She said that he should be able to go into a pub, live a normal life, have just sit and have a drink with his mates. Given the cockiness of the fat-headed twat, right? Do you honestly think that he had nothing to do with that yesterday, Ryan?
Wasn't he in sort of? I don't want to say our territory, but wasn't he like near Newcastle?
Yeah, where was he?
I think
East
he was in the
Bolton.
northeast. He wasn't in South.
Yeah, he was in East Bolton, which you need a passport to get into anyway. But listen, the bottom line is, he had to stand on a stool to reach his pint because he couldn't reach it with his arms, so they're off the bar. But listen, I don't like Jordan Pickford. I think he's a cocky little twat, and I can honestly see him being in that pub now, just sitting there, just with his head going, "Yeah, I'm the man." You know what I mean? And I mean, Ryan, what do you think?
Well, I think just going, like, if it's true, if he's going around like the Northeast Territory, like, what are you doing, man? Like, it's just danger territory. Like, go to like London for a pub or go to Liverpool for a pub or something, because these footballers nowadays are like celebrities. Like, they're just gonna get noticed, and like, if you don't have the right like security around you or whatever, like fans are gonna like hound you down or like
Yeah.
trying to like start something. So
It's
Who's
no
got the
different to
telly
like
on in the
water
background?
balls or
Whose telly's loud?
the champions.
Could he
You know,
even reach
it's,
it? Like,
That's
could
all right.
Pickford?
I didn't want to get done for copyright. That's all, Danielle.
Uh,
No problem.
Could Pickford actually reach a man's chin? Like,
Well, that's debatable. Very debatable. Alan says, "Do you guys think the board will stick with Eddie Howe if we finish bottom 6?" As a Bournemouth fan, I love Eddie and know too well he's a great manager, but worry the club money men might be impatient.
No,
Absolutely not. 100% they will stick with Eddie Howe. Danielle, he's a class act, Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's no way. His remit this season was to avoid relegation. So even if we finish 17th, he's done his job. And it's
Yeah,
now to build
absolutely.
on next year.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent coach, is Eddie Howe.
Yeah.
You know, he's we all drool over the Continentals and all that. I think he's just as intelligent as them. He knows the game. Okay, he wasn't a superstar player, but as a coach, you can't fault him. You know, and he plays a good style of football. He just needs the right squad at his disposal, which he's nearly got, and stick a few more in there. And you know, I'm sure he could do a job. And he's a very hard-working guy as well. You know, he's there before the players get out. Yeah, before the players get out their pits, he's there at the training ground. Sorting the sessions out.
Abs makes a good point there, Danielle. If we finish 4th from bottom, I am building the Eddie Howe statue myself.
Yeah.
Paul, I know you're trying to get back on, mate, but I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to click you onto the stream, and it's just saying that it's not letting us. So I don't know what's going on there, bud. Not sure whether it's your internet or whether it's just StreamYard playing up again, but I haven't a clue. Matthew says a point would be good on Saturday, but a win would be huge.
Yes.
Alex, are we going to get 4 wins in a row? Can you see it happening?
possibly. It's going to be a real interesting one. It's probably the most interesting game yet. It's getting more and more interesting at each match that goes by because they stepped up to the Villa midfield and they did a good job. They're growing, but West Ham is a different kettle of fish completely with Declan Rice and Souček in that midfield. Joe Linton against Souček is going to be real interesting. They have a lot more quality. They have a lot more structure. They've been well drilled by Moyes. It's a winnable game, but we need our best players on the pitch. We can't have errors, and people have got to turn up. If people aren't 100% at the races, then I feel like a point would be fair, considering how strong West Ham have been for nearly like 12 months. I'd take a point away at this point. And if we can't get anything, then I'd just take it. I'd take a good performance that we can take into the Brentford game. As long as we just don't go to shit. Like, we need to put in, even if we come away with nothing, we need to put in a good performance to take into Brentford. So we need to try. But the win is doable. We just need everybody to be there.
And leave everything
We've
on the
got a
pitch.
good record on the ground as well, going against West Ham.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah,
stadium.
we've got a good record
too.
against them recently.
Yeah,
I do not want to see 5 at the back like people are suggesting for West Ham. No way.
It depends on Manquillo, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Murphy might get a wing back.
I
start,
agree.
or it's
All depending on what the injury is.
Your mic's gone, Paul.
Mike's gone.
If Manquillo's out, I'd rather just put our third choice right back, which I don't like and none of us like, rather than change the whole system around. Because you're gonna play 3-4-3 with 2 midfielders, 3 up top. Or you're gonna play 3-5-2 with 3 midfielders.
Brian,
2
mate,
up
he's
top.
already done that. He put Kraft on the pitch and he changed the formation anyway.
Yeah.
So he's
And the thing
already
is,
done that.
If
I guess so.
if we're doing 3 centre backs at the back,
But I don't want to see Murphy at right wing back. Like, he's been exposed.
No, but look, if we go 3 at the back, or 5 at the back, whatever we want to say.
Yeah.
You have Bourne there as well. Now he's got to make a big difference as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're doing it with Clark.
Yeah.
That's very true. Yeah.
But Burn on Sunday showed good organisational skills. I thought he was marshalling the defence, which we haven't had.
The best thing about Burn is that he claimed a nice huge chunk of Tyrone Mings' shirt.
Yeah.
when we played them. So it just makes you think, whose shirt is he going to claim at the weekend?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that Villa shirt was definitely from Ashley's shop, wasn't it? The materials are
Huge
crap.
chunk that he got off of it when he grabbed it.
It was like made of kitchen roll, wasn't it? Cap and
it was.
kitchen roll.
Yeah. Ken says a true fan struggles to who they hate more than the Mackhams or Manure. You can't have any type of soft spot for either.
Absolutely.
Andrew, good evening. He'll rest Shelby on the bench and start Bruno. Good squad management in Eddie, we trust.
Oh, not Shelby.
Shelby's
Shelby's
been pivotal to our performances recently.
He did some good work on Sunday. He tracked back a lot. I noticed he was, up and down.
Super impressed with the way he's covering the pitch at the minute. The thing is, Jason, he looks so much fitter, doesn't he?
Yeah. He does. He looks so much fitter. He's getting these passes in. He's getting space to get his passes in.
Yeah.
We're just seeing Shelby that does those Hollywood passes now, and it just every time I see him play now, it just takes me back to that Leeds to your watch along where you called him that beautiful bald bastard.
I have no recollection of that moment at all.
It's that beautiful triangle that they create with Shelby, Shah, and Trippier. You've got a little triangle, so whoever doesn't get pressed has the long ball option, and it's just beautiful. So having no Trippier, Manquillo can't do that. It's just got to be a slightly different system, but
yeah, good point. Julie says, I saw someone comment that Bruno would be looking for a move if he's still on the bench. Chippers, he's itching to get on, but I think that's a bit far-fetched, isn't it? That he'd be looking for a move if he doesn't play.
That's ridiculous. I personally think he'll start on Saturday because I think Eddie might freshen the team up a bit because he's played the same team for 3 games now. So we've got that 4-point buffer. He might look at it and think, well, I'll give a bit of fresh legs some going because I think out of the two, with Brentford the week after, I think that's the more game that is more realistic to win than West Ham at the moment. I think so.
Yeah, it'd be very, very interesting. Guys, just a quick note. If you are enjoying the show, please hit the like button for us. If you are new to the channel and you like what you see, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Over 9,000 now, on the way to 10. So if you are new and you like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button. You can become a member of the Toon Review if you hit the join button underneath the video itself, or the link is in the description of the show itself. And you can donate to the channel tonight if you so wish by hitting the $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that'll take you through to a payment method. And obviously a massive shout out to our sponsors, Geordie Riffs, professional guitar repairs and servicing based here in the good old northeast of England. Give Graham and Natalie a shout if you need any help with guitars. They are offering 10% off your first repair or setup and a first guitar lesson completely free of charge. Just mention the Toon Review. You can get their website, which is linked below in the description, and they're on Facebook and Twitter as well. So thank you for their continued support. Ryan, we've got an issue now. We've heard a few people say, is Eddie going to freshen it up? Is he going to change things around a little bit? Do you think that if Manquillo's out, he could go to 3 at the back?
It's a bit 50-50 because I wouldn't blame him, but I don't want it because we all know Kraft's not good enough wherever he is. But I just don't know about wingback system because we've seen it before. It worked short term with Jacob Murphy, but we played him as a wingback again a few times this season. He's just been exposed. Who else are you gonna play? Fraser, who had that one cameo and that success that Bournemouth had against Chelsea 3-0. So it's kind of all up for debate. My opinion, I'd stick with the same formation. I think I probably would stick with the same midfield. If Manquillo fit that game, I'd only put Target. I'd make Target the only change because the midfield's been solid. I think there's not been enough enough players challenging the front three. Obviously Dwight Gale will never get up top. Jacob Murphy is also our only other winger. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'd basically keep the same team, and if it's not working out by halftime at West Ham, I'd bring Bruno in right away.
I mean, that's a good point. If Murphy plays right wing back, who is our wing substitute? It's Almiron or bust. There's nothing else on the bench.
Yeah, that's it.
Why we need to get a winger in the summer too.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think Miggy's contemplating now that his time is up at Newcastle, Louis?
I would say so. I mean, I don't think he's going to get into the side now that we've got all these signed. Got Bruno in. The new transfers who came in. I think he'll take a move in the summer and go somewhere like Spain and probably work there, like improve his game, because I think he's not getting game time now with these new signings.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think that Spain would be a perfect league for Miggy. I just think that, the way he plays, I can see him doing really well. But Derek says, I heard that Pickford got violent because he couldn't grab his pint. T-Rex Arms is looking to do a 4-way split on a restaurant in Durham. Matthew says the board will stick with how even if we go down. Exactly. Tom says his team for the game at West Ham will be Dubravka, Murphy, Shaw, Byrne, Target, Willock, Shelby, Joe Linton, Fraser, Wood, St. Maximan. That's putting Murphy at right back, Alex, which
that's what
no, absolutely
I'm
not.
sure about.
I wouldn't mind playing Murphy as a wing back. Because I think what Ryan said was interesting about our wing back. When we've played wing backs, it's not been he got exposed, but we've not played wing backs since we've had the new signings.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's
Dan
right,
Burn and Bruno and some of the extra talent and Target potentially being in there might help shore up some of that potentially, and the increased fitness, the increased understanding. It might not be as much of a problem. Because the last time we saw a 3-4-3, we sucked. So.
Yeah,
It could be a different game.
That's a good point, actually.
Listen, I think whatever team we put out, if we continue to put the same effort, enthusiasm, and passion into the way we play, I think we'd still get a result. I don't want to go to 3 at the back. I mean, Dublin 3 at the back for you, is that a possibility or not?
It is a possibility because, as I was saying, like it'd be 3 at the back, but it'd be 3 at the back with Bourne instead of Clark, and that could make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more secure, like maybe have him as a left centre back. Maybe would you have Shard in the middle or would you have Lascelles in the middle?
Well, there's the debate, isn't it?
Lascelles.
It'd probably be Lascelles for the aerials.
Yeah. But I just think the players, the way they are now, we're actually fitter now than a lot of other teams, and they are putting in the effort and they're doing it for the fans. The fans have been absolutely amazing, and the last few games, you can say nearly every player has left everything out on the pitch. So I can see us getting a win, like a cheeky. Like Shelby can take a free kick as well, so he can get a cheeky goal in there.
I mean, we're due another penalty, aren't we? We've only had one.
Yeah.
It was overruled.
It'd be interesting. Toon says his Target available for West Ham. He is indeed.
Yes.
Obviously, only couldn't play against Villa because it was his parent club. Matthew says hopefully Mankey was fit enough, and a 5 at the back won't be needed.
Yes.
Brian says missed the beginning, but fuck it, I'm here. Derek says I've said rather than have Kraft cheese singlet for full back than Emil Kraft.
Better you should stick with hockey than fucking football.
I should. But sorry, this mic's gone off again. It's doing my tits in. Really annoying me now. I'll be back in a second. Alex, just take over a bit.
Yeah, no worries. So one point about this wing back system, guys, is if we do end up playing that, there's only 2 midfielders, not 3. It's very unlikely we'd play the 3. So who plays in a? We're already arguing about a 3. Who do we put in a 2?
It'll probably be Joel. Oh, okay.
That's in the 2 in midfield. You're seeing.
Yeah, if we went to a wing back system against West Ham because maybe of injuries, Mankio, in theory it would be a 2 in the middle. And we're currently playing a 3, and we're struggling to get everyone on the pitch. So who would the 2 be?
You could do a 3-5-2.
You could, yeah.
You could, yeah, 3-5-2. Two. I mean, you can't drop big J7, can you? He's
No.
got to be one of them, one of the two, because of how he's done. And I suppose it'd be Shelby and J7 if I'll be honest with you. If it ain't broke, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but it is broke. That's the problem. They're all
Yeah,
broken.
Yeah, true.
The three midfield's proven to be right. Has there been a double pivot of two that have proven to be a good partnership this
Yeah.
Last time I could think of it was
I mean,
I feel like I'm stretching, but it's probably like Longstaff and Hayden under Rafa.
But
Actually, no.
yeah, they had some good games in the double.
I think the 3-5-2 could work though. Like you could have Bruno, you could have like Shelby, J7. You could have
3-5-2 midfield.
ASM and Fraser, and then
It's a good shout, but when he did wing backs last time, I think he did the 3-4-3. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he did a 3-4-3. But your system that fits all our players in. So you'd have ASM and Wood up there, would you?
I think if it's some kind of 3 or 5 at the back system, it'll be 3 in midfield, 2 up top.
Yeah.
Paul, we're just talking about if it's wing backs, then it has to be a 2-man midfield, and we lose even more.
Yeah,
midfield.
exactly. So
Midfield,
don't want to do it. Jeanette Johnston, thank you for the £5 super chat. Saying love the show, Paul. Thank you very much. By the way, I do have a new microphone incoming. So I just don't understand how my mic goes off and I have to come out of the studio to reset it when it really honestly pays me off, but never mind. I think it's a dodgy connect. It's not the wire, it's actually something inside the mic that keeps it's not. So I'm going to send this back to Blue Yeti and say, you're a bunch of twats. Wacky says, if you press against us at the weekend, as much as John's neighbour pressed his doorbell, you can definitely get points.
That was
absolutely sudden criminal. That, like, if that was my neighbour banging on my door like that, I'm sorry, but they would be drinking milkshakes for 6 months. I'm telling you. We've got Graham coming in. Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Is there any other problems with audio?
Just mine, mate, but it's shit. My microphone, despite me paying over 100 quid for it, it's as much use as a chocolate tart in front of a lovely log fire. But here we go.
I was so fucking frustrated over the last couple of weeks. And so I went and bought a fucking mic. I went and got some mics and I got myself a desk. And I spent money and I don't know if it's working.
Well, we can hear you loud and clear. It looks like NASA there, to be fair. Anything. Anyway, Graham, how did you think the Villa game went?
Personally, I think Newcastle defended better than any other team in the league that particular day. I spent lots of time watching every game. And not just from the defence. I mean, Dan Bond was amazing, by the way.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He used to just live a few doors off me. I'm from Northumberland in England. And I thought he was incredible. And I was unsure when they first signed him. So I'm going to put my hand up and be honest. But I thought he was amazing. But not only that, and I noticed we've got statistic guy in here. I think Joe Linton made more tackles than any other centre midfielder in the Premier League that particular day as well. So I thought that was a really good thing.
Well, that's simply, Graham, because Joe Linton is the best midfielder in the Premier League.
I don't know about that personally, but I do believe a little bit.
Alex, your mic's off.
Yeah, so it's not the first day he's done that as well. He's done that several times, to be fair. I actually worked this out with Baz earlier. He started as a central midfielder properly 7 times, and he's got more tackles and interceptions in those 7 appearances than anybody else in the league with 7 in the last 7. Nobody's even close. Everybody who's a superstar is getting 5-ish, high 5. Yeah. He's on 7. If he can keep that up over the course of a season, then he is going to be superstar. Like, that's bonkers. And then if he can suddenly start scoring a bit as well, he's Champions League quality player.
Definitely.
So we've got to keep our feet on the ground because it's only 7 matches, but the output so far is ridiculous. So just fingers crossed he can keep it going.
That is.
I'd love to score a goal against West Ham.
I know. Lucy Marie says, I'm not confident of beating West Ham without a good right back. I'd settle for a draw as long as the bottom three all lose. Listen, I'd take a point now. I think a point away at West Ham would be a fantastic result, and keep our sort of unbeaten run going. But let's just go for the win as well, though. Let's
absolutely.
We want to win games. We
want
really want to win
3.
games. Interesting. Hang on a minute. Where's that? Wood needs to get his act together for Saturday or Sunday. Sorry?
I seen you at Dave's funeral.
Did you?
I don't really know you enough to come and chat with you. Which I really wanted
to any bugger me, I tell you. So
that's what Dave said. But I can just tell you this little story I was wanting to tell you, and I've been trying to get on for weeks to do it. Dave invited me that night. He's been inviting me, he helped me because I was a manager in junior football, and he helped me years ago. When I knew but I know nobody, and he helped me, and he was inviting me, and he was even offering to pay my subscription and stuff. And I was going, no, I'm going to come. And I come that night, and that was the last night. And I haven't been able to get on to chat with you. So he obviously felt the world about you guys. So, yeah.
What the hell was that?
That's my son upstairs watching Man United.
Ronaldo's just scored. That's why everybody's gone nuts.
Danielle, tell John to turn the volume down.
I didn't know your son was a mank.
Not my fault.
You raised him wrong.
But believe it or not, I have taken him to St James's Park, but he decided to go. But I said, "Will you go your way?"
I feel violated.
Go the highway if you supported Man United. Not.
Yeah. What you call it? He's he's. I'll just let him be himself. If you want to come, but he will come to me and come with me to watch Newcastle. He's not like that, but he stick with Man U. So I said, "You."
That's all right. He's a man. He's not welcome. Gary says, "Is Louis not happy with you, Paul? He has turned off his chair lights."
Not charged.
Where's the illuminations tonight, Louis?
They're not charged.
Oh, you. Dear me.
I didn't charge me chair.
Right.
Got a DX racer.
What's that gaming? Is that gaming chair or something? Is it?
It is. Yeah.
His man walks in. Why is the electricity bill so high? Oh, I've been charging me.
Yeah.
It's me. It's me chair, ma'am.
It's me chair. Right. A subject that is causing a lot of friction between Newcastle fans as well. Mr. Wood. I am not sold on Chris Wood at all. I'm sorry, but I've seen him enough now to think he isn't what we need right now. He's not what we need in the future either, to be fair. I think he's slow. He doesn't look mobile enough. But hey ho, that's just the way it is. Danielle!
Hey, I made it.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. We're just about to talk about Chris Wood, Danielle, who has been absolutely rubbish for us this season. Yeah. Chippers, we'll start with you. Let's hear it.
I'm not sold on him, but he's in a black and white shirt, so I'll get behind him. That's simple as that. I won't slag him off, I think. I mean, if you look, say, for example, for 2 years, we slagged Joe Linton off, so I'm going to get behind him and just, you know what, because I just know that there's better days ahead, and that we know that he's just a stopgap for either the rest of the season or for 18 months, and then we can get better. That's all I'm saying. It's just get behind him because he's in the shirt. Yes, he's not like the Haaland or Mbappe type striker that eventually we may get in a few years down the line, but he's in a black and white shirt now. Let's get behind him, and to be honest, I don't care who scores the goals if we stay up.
Well, I mean, that's fair enough, but I just can't see him scoring any goals at the minute. He's just not getting in positions to score goals. And, I mean, come on, Jason. I know you're smiling there. Let's give us your take on Chris Wood.
Oh, do I really have to? Here we go. Oh, I hate him. I don't
Panic
like him.
Championship buy.
I've said it for weeks. I don't like the deal. I think he's a panic buy because we didn't have a striker. if we just waited maybe and we could have got a better striker in. I really don't like him. He's not worth 25 mil. He is rubbish. He only got to where he got by playing for Burnley and Burnley playing to his strengths. We're not playing to his strengths. He needs to be fed to score. He's not being fed because we've got a bloody ball hogger on the bloody pitch. I really don't like him. He shot the other day. My God, level 7 caught that and he took it home as a souvenir. Oh, but he could not shoot for shit. His header against Everton was so weak. I don't like him. Send him.
Dublin, what do you think about him?
I think he will come good. I don't think he'll be like over 10 goals a season though. I think they'll probably get one game where they score a fucking hat trick or something like that, and then
where is he going to score a hat trick? On God's earth, is Chris Wood going to score a hat trick?
You never know. I mean, you never know.
Listen, all I'm saying is
what game.
Yeah, but what have you seen, Dublin, that will say that Wood is going to get a hat trick? What have you seen?
I just think he will. Like, I literally think something will click in him, or the system will click in his head, and good crosses onto his fucking forehead, and he'll get a couple, I think. But I don't think he's the right man, like, for the future or anything like that. But I don't know, he wasn't bought to be the main man. He was bought to be the target man. But I want to get behind him. And I'll keep faith in him until.
I tell you what, I want to get behind him and kick him with the fecking ass. Is what I want to do.
Saying that though,
don't worry, guys. We'll spend.
Even as we are playing West Ham, didn't Michael Owen, Leon Best, and Demba Ba all get their first hat tricks for the club against West Ham?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Stato, I thought you might have come up with that. That's the only stat that I've actually got in the last 10 years. So, yeah, I was going to bring that up later. But
I've been staying away from the West Ham game. I've been giving it a breather, and then I'm going to go hardcore in. So I've been because it's going to be a tough analysis. This is what I don't
understand, right? This is what I don't understand is Davy's comment here. Wood is still helping the team. Now, I don't understand this. The people that are saying he's helping the team. People that were saying, well, he won 13 aerial duels on Sunday, sorry. And I'm thinking, right, he headed where did it go? It didn't help us in any way at all.
Yeah,
every single aerial duel he won.
You got a point.
I agree with that, Paul.
But ball up. He can't hold the ball up. He doesn't bring anyone into play. I've no idea how people can say he's helping. And I had this thing. You know, people saying, oh, well, would we have won without Chris Wood? He's had nothing to do with goals. I mean, I think he got one assist the other day. I can't remember if he had something to do with the goal or not against Everton. But listen, we would have won the games with or without Chris Wood. I'm sorry, but he hasn't contributed. And
we've got to stop saying it about service.
Yes, exactly.
We've got to stop saying that. We'll have to.
Yeah.
He's got a goal against Everton, and then he just fucking whiffed his line.
Yeah, he had a simple header. That just put it in the corner. I mean, he was 3 yards out, for God's sake. 3! And he couldn't put it past the goalkeeper. I mean,
the thing is with Chris Wood, I'm expecting him just to lead the lines till Callum Wilson's here.
Well, that's it, basically. That's
slash be here for 6 months, then in the summer we're going to spend 100 million on a striker and a winger.
Yeah. I wasn't saying he was good. I'm just saying I want to keep the faith that he will click. Something will click in his head.
Is there a stat that the ball's not coming back at us quicker now? I'm sure there could be a stat for that.
Yeah,
so there might be something he's doing that we're not seeing, but I don't know.
I don't think he's holding the ball up. I think he's losing the ball. Danielle, I mean, I know you've had your say on Chris Wood, but I just don't. You know, I cannot get away with him at the minute. I think he's very, very slow. He seems to have the turning circle of a flaming barge. And, you know, he's another one that's got, you know, block paving down his pants. He cannot move.
No, you really can't. He takes ages to turn. To be honest, I was a bit concerned when the penalty was given and he was stood with the ball. I thought, I'm not convinced. So I was actually delighted that we got the free
He's
kick.
got a good penalty record, though.
Yeah, but it's us. So I wasn't willing at all to take that risk. I want him to do well. I do. I just can't see it happening. I really can't. It's not his fault that he's here. We've obviously brought him in to kind of hold the fort while Callum's recovering, but I just don't. I think the goals are going to have to come elsewhere.
You know what? I think the problem is the fact that we paid
think it was
25
for
million
one
quid
game.
for him.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that's
nothing for a player nowadays.
For one game.
Yeah.
We couldn't
I
get any
think
other
his decision
striker
making
during that
also is
time.
poor.
It is. It is. It's very poor. But listen, I think that had we paid £5 million for him, I wouldn't bat an eyelid and say, right, it's just there's a stopgap.
Oh, yeah.
But £25 million, I mean, you know, people say, well, it'll make Burnley weaker. Burnley haven't done too badly last couple of games. I mean, that Wakehorse looks like a horse, to be honest. He's not very good. But listen, he may come good for them, but, would may come good for us.
There are reasons for this, though, because Ryan mentioned he's leading the line. Well, he's not. He's not being played in a system where he's leading the line. It's geared towards trying to get him and Joe Linton under the ball to create an attack, with Willock driving on and Maxi down the left. It's a system. He's not leading the line necessarily.
No.
And against Leeds, he didn't have Target yet. So Target didn't have Maxi didn't have Target. So that wasn't there yet. And then against Villa, we had the 2 fullback injuries. So the plan forward fell apart. So in his defence, I agree that his hold-up play is non-existent. His shooting's crap. All of it's too crap. It needs to improve. But in his defence, Everton and 20 minutes of Villa is the only game time he's had where the plan was there. The rest of it was not on him. It was injuries and things being different. So if we get more games of that system, what we had against Everton, he might do more.
I just think,
and he does take a couple of players off Maxi. I think.
The other day, did it?
One thing I will say as well, though, if you look at this, if things had turned out the other way, we could have had him and Ekateki up front if Ekateki wanted to come. And he might have been better with Ekateki up front.
Yeah.
Would you take
Jason says, what don't you understand, Paul? We haven't lost with him in the side. Listen, in capital letters. Listen. Don't tell me to listen. I'm giving an opinion. Right? An opinion. And my opinion is he's a pillock and he's not good enough. He doesn't do what he's there to do, in my opinion. It's all right, people saying, he wins headers, he does this, he does that. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything.
To be honest, guys, I'd rather have Chris Wood up top than have
I think
ASM
I've agreed
as a
with
false
Paul
nine,
for
too.
the last month of watching Paul. Because he's so passionate. I think I agree with everything he says, but anything? He doesn't give anything? I
don't think he does. I'm not going
to agree with that.
That's fine. That's fine. And that's what that's all about. It's about opinions. I don't think he offers anything. Right. But I want to listen, I'll be happy to be proved wrong. If he goes and bangs in a hat-trick at West Ham, fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd love him to do well. I'm a Newcastle fan. I want, like Chip has said before, anyone that pulls on that black and white shirt, I want to succeed. I want them to do really well. And if Chris Wood scores goals, I'll be so happy for him. But at the minute, I just don't see it. And I think that is, for me, one of the problems we've got. And I said it at the end of the transfer window, that we're just a bit lightweight. He's not in the positions that maybe a Callum Wilson would be when that ball is.
I don't think the ball is coming back as fast, though.
The thing is, too, I find
I'm visually seeing it, but I'm visually feeling it when I'm watching the game. It seems like the ball is not coming back as fast as it was, and that is something that I think has been a good thing. So that's why I'm asking.
Is that not the midfield that's responsible for that?
I think Wood just needs more time with Howe, and he'll become another fucking. You never know. He might end up being another great centre defensive midfielder. But
we've got 9 of them now.
We've got enough.
We don't need any more.
There's a lot of people in the comments saying, "Also, you would play Gale." No, I wouldn't. What I'm saying is, I'm disappointed that we didn't go out and get an out-and-out striker in the transfer window that we blatantly needed. And
I think he
Chris
tried.
Wood isn't an out-and-out
Yeah.
striker.
I think we
Somebody
tried. He's
who
just
just-
the only option.
I think
Yeah,
he tried.
but just sits around the box and is there to score goals. I think we should have gone for Diaz at Blackburn, who has a killer instinct.
Oh,
He knows
yeah.
where the goal is. Listen, like I said, I want Chris Wood to come good. I really, really,
Yeah,
really
I
do.
so.
Right? But if I just don't see it at the minute. But I'd gladly be proved wrong. But I just don't think he's in the positions where he should be when we're on the attack.
Yeah.
Would you take one of the youngsters
I
and
agree
replace
with
him
that.
with Wood if he's not good enough?
Listen, I've said for a while now. I'd get Dylan Stevenson up on the subs bench. I'd give him, 10 minutes at the end of a game just to get him into it and see what he can do, because I think he's done outstandingly well. He's a good finisher, and look, he's there. But at the minute, look, it's quite clear that he's going to go with Chris Wood. He's not going to spend that money on Chris Wood and not play him.
Yeah,
It's the comments saying that we're winning because he's in the team. I mean, Leon Best played up front when we came 5th with Cisse and Barr rotating. Does that mean Leon Best was the reason we won the matches? Of course not. This is the
Who's
same
that other
situation.
striker people are banging on about? Isn't it like some black kid with dreads too? I forget his name.
Michael
Yes.
Unduini.
Yeah, he's
Him, yeah.
he's another really good prospect. But
I think he was
look,
training with the
I
team.
understand when people say it, right? To throw youngsters in would be a huge risk now, and of course it would. But at the same time, right? At the same time, I think that the problem Chris Wood has is I said this when we signed him. He played in a 4-4-2 at Burnley. He played off Ashley Barnes, and I think the problem is now he doesn't have anybody up with us.
He's in the two, yeah.
And he was quite clearly relying on Ashley Barnes creating most of the chances. And if you look at Chris Wood's goals for Burnley, Ashley Barnes is always pinging it around or shooting, and he's there to, and I just think maybe the way we play at the minute, it doesn't suit Chris Wood's game. And so I will stick up for him in that sense, that I think it's, but he's had 3 games now where I just don't see.
I think whatever
anything.
Alan St. Maximin's trying to do, he just can't keep up with it. Like, he doesn't have the kind of IQ and attacking minded knowledge, I guess, that ASM has. Like, he's just direct, fast, quick, rapid, quick on the ball, and Wood's just too slow to react or trying to read.
I think the ball is coming back. I do think this is one of Newcastle's really positive things just recently. I don't think the ball is coming back at us. I remember us defending well, and then when we push out, the ball just keeps coming back every time. I don't think it's coming back as quick as it was, and I think that's a change in the game. Now, I'm not saying it being a deliberate thing. I can say Wood has done this. There's nothing he's doing that I can actually physically say, yeah, he's doing it. But
it's our pressures. It's the system for Howe. It's how he plays.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to change a 4-4-2 to accommodate Chris Wood. I'd rather play a 4-3-3 to accommodate people like ASM and the 3 midfield that's doing well.
Think of it as,
Wacky makes a good point there.
Light.
Yeah. I mean, he says that he may take players off Maxi, but then Maxi goes looking for players to dribble at.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's no front of Maxi, he doesn't know what to do. So
he can't put it on Instagram if he doesn't run past players.
Yeah.
Does he?
ASM highlight reel specialist.
You only had one good opportunity in the last game, really. That's it. Didn't really contribute much else.
Yes, I agree. Calling him a pillock was very harsh, but it just came out as it does with me. So I will
Stay tuned for
retract
the
that
watch along
comment.
on Saturday. I'm sure there'll be plenty more.
Well, exactly. I will retract that comment.
I just think you're trying to do the give like you did with Joe Litton, give him a hard time for so long, and then all of a sudden he comes good.
Exactly, because they'll listen.
Yeah, but the only problem with Wood that he knows he's only got this season, because as soon as we bring in another striker, he's going to be on the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We've got Archer. Oh, Archer can't come in at the minute. There's too many people on.
I'll tell you what. I'll leave and let Archer come in. I've been on.
Are you
long
sure?
enough.
Thanks
man.
very much,
Yeah,
Danielle.
no problem. Thanks. Nice to see everybody.
Take care, buddy.
Cheers.
That was Danielle. Let's bring in the bearded man, Archer. Good evening.
Good evening.
Right, Archer. What's your thoughts on Chris Wood?
Chris Wood.
Basically, he's not doing it tonight, to be fair. But like, he just needs more. He just needs to have more time, because he's only just arrived. He's only just arrived. So
You need to get used to the players around him.
yeah, it's just like with Bruno as well. Like when we're playing Everton midweek, I understand that Eddie Howe had Bruno on the bench. Obviously, it's just to give him a rough idea what the Premier League's all about. Because he's never.
Yeah. I think, I mean, Sonia says here, would love to see Wood score, might give him a bit of confidence. It must be hard being the only striker on the pitch playing for Newcastle. Danielle, I do agree in that sense that it may well be confidence. When he scores one, he'll go and bag a few more because it'll give him that confidence in front of goal. But all I'm saying is I just don't see him being that striker in the box who is there. When rebounds come out and stuff like that, there was opportunities against Villa on a couple of occasions where he wasn't in the box where he should have been. Where Maxi flashed a couple of crosses in, and Chris Wood's nowhere to be seen, and we're crying out for Maxi to cross the ball, and when he does, he's not there.
That's what I mean earlier.
Yeah, I agree, and I think his average is like 10 a season or something. He normally gets, and he's currently on 3. So I just can't see it. And God, I'd love it to happen. I really would, because he's had a rough start, hasn't he? He's come into a situation where Callum's not able to play, so the kind of pressure's on him really to perform in a way. So I do feel for him, but I just can't see him doing it. Unfortunately, prove me wrong though. I'd love it.
Jason says Wood is a nightmare to play against out of possession. Now, in my opinion, he's making a huge contribution, and that's fine, Jason. We've all got our opinions on players, and if we didn't have different opinions, we'd have nothing to talk about. And that's why. I mean, some people go too far and start abusing people because they've got an opinion. But you know what it is? Everyone's entitled, and if people think he's doing a good job, that is fair enough as well. It's the way it is. I would rather have J7 up top and bring Bruno on in midfield.
I'll leave J7.
Do you not remember him?
Yes, J7 can't play up top. We've already seen
people have no memories.
The only thing J7 should be on top of is John.
Jesus. Ellis says, see you backing him but calling him a pillock. No, I retracted the pillock comment, so there you go. I'm not calling him a pillock anymore. But listen, I did, but I retracted it. Who said that?
You did.
I said you retracted it.
I retracted the comment, yes.
Yeah.
So there.
That's what I said.
Is it with Wood? He's just not up to speed with the rest of the team fitness-wise. How much playing time did he have at Burnley before we swooped in and stole him? He was playing, wasn't he? Alex?
I think he just came back, didn't he? Or I know Barnes was out and he was fit.
He went off in a huff when
have a look.
he got taken off pretty early in the Burnley game.
Burnley.
And again, I do think this is fullbacks. People are forgetting he's a handful when Trippier and Target on. He's a handful because our structure's there. When they're not on, he's not as much of a handful. It's not. We're playing such a systematic formation with such a plan that when some of it goes wrong, it affects the others. Like Maxi looks crap because Wood's crap. Wood looks crap because Maxi's crap. They're both crap because they're not getting the service from the fullbacks. They've got no overlap because Dummett came on. They've got no Trippier crosses because Trippier's not on. It all fell apart. So people, nobody seems to be pointing towards the system fell apart. We just changed the game plan. We changed it to hoofing it up. No wonder they couldn't get it to stick. Like I'm honestly, I'm not going to blame Wood or Maxi for the Villa game. We didn't play our system. Like
we got the result, lads.
I agree. When Trippier came out, like we just lost our rhythm. And I remember seeing a comment the other day. So you can't be relying on a fullback. Well, sorry, like fullbacks control games nowadays.
Yeah, look at Trent as right mid. Trippier sits where Trent does for us. It's a similar
fullbacks
style.
are so important to this game now.
But yes, Wood needed to hit some shots on target and not be such a
The
lummox.
thing is, Ken makes a good point there. I think if we paid £1 million for a 6'4" centre forward from Division 1, he would do exactly the same as Wood does, i.e., cause problems for the defenders, because that from what I'm gathering from the comments is what he's doing. He's causing problems for defenders, but not in the right place. He should be causing problems for defenders when crosses come in. He should be in that box. But could we have paid a lot less money for somebody who does the same job as Chris Wood?
Personally, I would have went for Mitro because he took down the ball.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Nah, not having it, Dublin. You've had a stinker.
No, honestly, he took it down well. He held up the play and he'd pass it off when people would start running past him.
Well, he didn't. I'm sorry, I disagree there because he tried to. He never, ever tried to head a ball. If you watch when we took goal kicks, he would try and chest everything down and failed most of the time. So look, Mitro's in the past. Stick to the past. BL Duff says, Danielle, you were so quiet, and I get your 2 cents in there, girl.
It's been a long day.
Paul, have you ever played up front of on your own? Yes, I have.
Who for, Paul?
Who for?
Yeah, who for?
Stanley under sixes.
Oh, God love you.
And that was hard. That was a hard job when you're 5 years old and you're up front there on your own.
Yeah,
nobody gives you the ball.
That would be terrible. I'm the chairman of the junior football, and we don't allow kids to have positions at 5 years old.
Look, as I say, I've got my opinion, and I'm sticking by it. And
I usually play.
Everybody else can have theirs, as far as I'm concerned. But listen, if you want to get nasty in the comments, get nasty. We'll just chuck you off. Simple as that.
Listen,
if you want to get nasty, come on the StreamYard. Come on, face to face.
And it's not just that, but I don't think you should ever take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. So think about that.
Oh, that's good.
We all love
that off the spot.
Hey, listen.
That's a good scene, by the way.
That's why she's on the show.
Yeah,
Strikers need goals for confidence, mate. When he scores, he will instantly up his game. Exactly, Ryan. And I hope the hell he does. I really do. I want nothing more than to see him succeed. Jason says, Wood does the dirty work that Joe Linton or Willock would have to do if he wasn't there.
Well, they're not strikers.
0 ground duels. He's not doing dirty work. 0 ground duels is not dirty work.
Yeah, he didn't win a single ground duel against Aston Villa. Is that right, Stato?
It is. He won 13 aerial duels. He's been winning tons of aerial duels every match, but he can't keep the ball at his feet. And Joe can. Yeah. Joe Linton can. So why can't Wood? Yeah. He's a professional footballer. He's got to do better than that. He's been in the Premier League for a long time. He needs to win. I'm not asking him to win 10, but a few, 2 or 3 a game. Keep the ball, keep it up top, give us some release the pressure, and he just needs to do a bit more of it.
Listen, somebody sitting around me the other day said Chris Wood's second touch is always a tackle at the minute, and you know
because he's losing the ball
because it's just bouncing off him, and look, as I
honestly, he is fouling 3 or 4 times a game, so that would make sense.
Honestly,
trampoline.
I know you're saying you're not happy with Wood at the minute, but do you not think Mitro would do a better job than Wood right now?
Yes, I do.
30 goals,
but I wouldn't have him back.
About 10 in the Premiership, doesn't it?
Well, but I wouldn't have him back. He's maybe found his level in the Championship. You know, he's found his level. He's scoring goals, good for him. But I don't think, you know, I mean, has he matured?
But he's another 10 goal a season, isn't he? So
yeah, I mean, I don't
like in the Prem.
I don't know.
I don't think the ball's coming back as fast as us. I'm hoping Stato has a stat on this.
I don't think he does.
I mean, it's quite a random thing to track.
I'm not saying he's done well because I don't think he has, but I don't think the ball's coming back faster. And I think that's been a big shift in the games that we're playing. That's what
I don't know what that would translate to as a stat, though. I'm not sure exactly what to search for that. I mean,
in the last 3 games, Stato, in the last 3 games, where has the majority of the play been for Newcastle? Because if it's still in the final third, well, then we know that something changed. But if it's still in the first third, well, then we'll know nothing's changed.
Well, it
Our
depends
attacks
on
come
who we're
from left
playing.
side.
Yeah, because we're using the flanks. We're using Trippier to initiate attacks, and then Howe's got them fit and doing pressures. We're pressuring them in the final third in their half, and it depends on the game. Like the Villa game was very different because of the injuries. We had to drop back and play deep, so the heat map's going to be all squiffy, and I can't. So it's not going to read well because we had to change. Like it doesn't quite work like that. I know what you mean, but. It's probably down to the fitness, the pressures. We've got about 5% more possession nowadays than what we had under Bruce, because they're all fitter. They can all pass better. So it's down to the pressures, and possession, and
in a different area.
Do
we
know
think
what, sorry?
that a particular possession is still in the final third rather than the first third.
I mean, yeah. If I go in, I could go and have a look at where our possession is, but that's extremely detailed, and it changes from team to team, game to game. And like I said, the Villa game was very different because of the injuries and the subs. We had, it's not you could track that over the course of a season and then analyze it over 38 games, but checking that over 2 or 3 doesn't really make much sense. We need more. Sorry, I don't really have a specific stat for that. It's a very broad thing to try and explain.
Yeah, I
but,
agree with that.
You're fired.
On a side note, people are asking about Gary Neville's comments the other day about St James's. Listen, for me, Gary Neville is one of the. I've said this for a long time now. One of the best pundits out there who I actually listen to and actually enjoy listening to. Who talks a lot of sense. And for him as a Man United through and through to say that about. Newcastle and St James's, it was fantastic. Saying that the fans are back, and the atmosphere is back in the ground, and there's a good feeling around St James's again, and it's fantastic to see. So, well played, Gary Neville, without a doubt.
I think Gary Neville talks more good about Newcastle than John Sinclair does, and he's a man.
I was
he's an actual man.
Yeah.
I was about to say the exact same thing, you fucker.
Was anybody else worried about John's neighbour last night?
Oh,
I was a bit stressed about that, me.
I've told him to get a camera, one of those ring cameras.
I think everybody watching was more stressed than what John was, to be honest.
I would have ended up in prison.
Well, I would have knocked him out and all. I have to say,
He was a little frightened to me, and I was worried for him. I was like, he really doesn't.
I messaged him last night just to make sure he was okay. But I've told him that if he comes to the door again, to make sure his phone's recording, even if it's not like obviously pointed, but make sure it's recording.
Listen, the bottom line is, he's fine. He was back to his best, talking about his beloved Man United tonight. So he's definitely he's definitely back to his best. Yes, because Wood is playing solo up top, he has to drop deep and wait for the wingers to make runs so they get quicker than he does. That's the system, not Chris Wood. Yeah, I've said the system might be letting him down, but I'm just not seeing. It will eventually click with Wood. Don't worry, lads and lasses. Don't give up on the kid yet.
Yeah,
definitely. Look, I'm fine with that. I want to see him come good, and I've said that a million times. And that's what these fan forums are about: a bit of debate and a bit of conversation. And not everybody's going to agree with what I say. Not everybody's going to agree with what other people say. That's all. That's what football is about. It's about debate, and that's what the fan forums are for. And it's been a very, very heated one tonight, and that's good. That's what people like watching, and that's what we like talking about. It's people are going to have different opinions. Like I say, I retract the Pillock comment. That was just as me. People know me, that things just come out of my mouth when I'm in the heat of the moment. Like getting stung on the arse with a wet jellyfish, and nuns in a brothel and all that kind of stuff. And no doubt there'll be a lot more during the watch along on Saturday. But hey ho, that's the way I am, and
I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, thank you. Darren says, remember to subscribe and like the channel, folks. Sonny says, love the show because we can all have our own opinions and it's good to hear everybody else's.
Exactly,
Thanks, Sonia.
Sonia.
Exactly. And I don't sit on here ranting and raving about other people's opinions. I respect other people's opinions. Yeah, we'll have a strong debate about them, but I respect decisions. I don't just say, I don't respect your decision, I'm not going to talk about it, or I'm going to take the hoof or whatever. It's all about opinions, and that's And I would say that most of my viewers, if not all of them, are really good at having opinions and respecting other people's, and that's what it's all about. Kyle says nothing we can do but back him, whether he's firing or not. We haven't got the luxury of turning to another striker as long as we are winning and playing for the badge. Yep, fair enough. Maxi is crap. He's literally our highest assist. Who said Maxi's crap?
Said that?
Oh no, you were saying it when we were talking about the system.
When Wood's crap, Max is crap. When Max crap, Wood's crap.
He
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh
actually
my
saying
God,
Maxi was
man.
crap.
No, I'm not saying Max is crap. Max is my favourite player at the club, bar Bruno.
Am I the only one who thinks he's a little bit overweight?
Yeah.
Maxi.
Yeah.
Rival
Well, I'm a
fans
little bit
hype
overweight,
up,
but
rival fans
hey-o.
hype him up more because they see his TikTok highlights and like reels, and they think he's world class because of all the dribbles he puts in.
Do you know
But
what?
When we watch him, he's got no
No,
fucking
you just
end
watch him in
product.
real time.
Listen, if Maxi's overweight, I'm a fucking blimp. I'm telling you. Unbelievable. Give our.
Watch him in real time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I think you've had a mare there, Louis. You've had a mare.
He might have just had a salty
Sinclair.
meal before the match. He's definitely not. Oh, yeah.
Just look at all the top international defenders that keep going on TV and saying, I would never want to mark him. Never. Look at some of the top internationals that have said this on TV. Maxi's an incredible player, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when it gets to 1v1. The problem is he's not been getting 1v1s. He's been having to try and take 4 on against Villa. That was the issue.
But that's because you know how good he is. Like.
Yeah. Mercedes, thanks for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Ella says, but we thought we were weakening Burnley too, but that replacement looks quality. I'm not sure he looks quality.
I mean, did you see him in front of goal against Liverpool? He couldn't hit a
Yeah.
barn door.
Yeah, I'm not
Pound
sure.
line quality.
Can't hit a barn door.
He missed a couple of close to not open goals, but that was like Joe Linton was wearing his shirt up front.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that one.
Yeah.
I'll leave them for you.
Wacky said, I played semi-pro for years and football looks easy from the sidelines, a lot harder on the pitch. Listen, I played in goal.
But it is.
I did play Sunday League goalkeeper. Look, it is harder on the pitch. There's no doubt about that.
I couldn't run for the bus. Never mind now else.
I played at right back and I couldn't last for like 30 minutes.
I just used
No
to play
fitness.
Yeah, but you're French Canadian. You don't know what football is. Tangy says, Willock is a box
I'm
to
one
box
of the very
midfielder.
few that knows.
Yeah, true. Get in the box with Woodmore instead of concentrating on 100% pass completion success, passing it sideways and backwards all the time.
That was the formation change. He wasn't a box to box when we changed formation. That's the problem. So that's why it's not Maxi's fault and it's not Willock's fault. It was the injuries. It was the system.
Yeah.
He was told not to go roaming because we needed to defend and keep the win. Like, it makes sense.
The prerogative is on not conceding goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the bench wasn't fully set up for this. Like our bench still isn't good enough for that. We know that we could take off a key part of the system and put him on, and it would still work.
Exactly. Well, that's why when Bruno came on for Willock, Bruno wasn't box to boxing. Bruno was doing the similar. Like it was the it was the plan. It wasn't Willock being silly. He was told to do that.
Yeah.
Listen. Chris Wood is just going to cause all sorts of conversation constantly, and it will never change. All we can hope for is that it does change. His fortunes do change, and he scores some goals, and that's what it's all about.
A couple would be nice on Saturday, mind.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it'd be nice to I mean, God knows what I'll say if Chris Wood scores on the watch along. I mean, Jesus Christ.
If he gets a hat trick, I'm a psychic. If he gets a hat trick, I said up here first.
No, you're just an Irish.
Well, he started every single game.
Paul won't have you on because you won't leave it if he scores a hat trick.
Yeah. I tell you what. Listen, I'd love it. I really would. I'd love him to score a couple of goals and get us the 3 points. Look, even Jeff Hendricks scored there. Come on. Last season, he scored in the first game of the season. Jason's favourite ever player.
Shivers hearing that name again. Don't.
He can.
One in the box. One in the box on a Saturday just sounds like a great idea. I think.
You're just a disgraceful Irish.
One your box with a hole.
Shut up.
Well, anyway, it's
now.
not
Right. We are at the end of the show, so we are going to ask the guys that have joined the fan forum, not Danielle and Alex, because obviously we get their predictions on the show on Thursday. Archie, we'll start with you, my friend. A scoreline for West Ham.
Newcastle 2, West Ham 1.
And the scorers?
Bruno and Maxi.
Oh, well, listen, that's two very interesting goal scorers. But listen, I'd take a 2-1 win any day of the week. So, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Archer. Take care, mate. I'll see you soon.
Catch you later. Chat.
Archer's recovering from the flu after stripping off again in the rain the other day.
It was amazing.
He's laughing backstage. But listen, I mean, Christ, that hairy chest took about 4 hours to dry. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right. Graham, scoreline.
I'm going to go with a hugely well done defensive performance again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go for one of them solo maxi goals, and I'm going to take a 1-0 against West Ham.
1-0. Clean sheet away from home at West Ham. That's
I think Maxi. I don't think we can rely on any other player for to do a away from home kind of individual goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with a huge defensive performance again, because that's the way Eddie Howe seems to be playing the game. He knows why he's strong, and I'm going to go with that. I think a Maxi silly goal and another 1-0 win while we're on the bounce. I'm going to go with that, guys. So
super. I hope you're right. Thanks for coming on, Graham.
So. Thank you very much for having me.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you very much.
So there you go. That was Graham. Dublin.
Could be anything.
Sorry?
3-0 to Newcastle.
I wonder who the scorer's going to be.
Wood.
Yeah. Anyway.
Chris Wood hat-trick by any chance?
Yeah, might as well go for that, yeah. Like, honestly, I'll take 3 goals from anywhere, but I think we're on about, we might get West Ham, I think they get a good few people sent off as well. The Newcastle West Ham games, there's always a bit of temper in them. So we could.
It's normally the Newcastle players fighting among themselves and not the other way around.
Yeah, but I think we could wind them up a bit and bit of shithousery.
For the sake of variety, who's assisting this Chris Wood hat trick? Or is he doing it all himself from the halfway line?
One might be a penalty.
Yeah, penalty to break his duck, yeah. And then what do you call it? Another 2. I'll get a perfect hat trick. Left foot, right foot, header.
Intelligent.
So no assist, he just does it all himself.
Now, Maxi and Joe Linton will assist as well.
Fair enough. Jason says, great show as always, people. Interesting points of view. Maxi's class and Wood is doing a fine job. 1-0 Toon. Well, thanks, Jason. Obviously, don't worry. Everybody's got their opinions, mate, and I respect everybody's on this show. So
if he's happy with that, he's going to be very happy when we get a real striker in, isn't he?
Yeah, but you know what it is? As long as it's not abusive. I mean, we've had some pricks in the comment with abusive comments tonight and let them get on with it. But listen, majority are good people. So thanks, Dublin. Take care, mate.
No worries. See you again.
Let him get back to his Pornhub.
Wow.
Right, Chippers.
I'm going to go for 1-1 draw and John Joe Shelby to score because he always seems to play better games against West Ham.
He does like playing West Ham, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Matthew makes a good point. He's saying Leon Best scored a hat-trick against West Ham, so why can't Chris Wood?
Because he's crap.
Matthew, I hope you're right. I really do. I'd love to see him get a hat-trick. And I mean, Dublin
I'd love to see Paul's reaction if he got a hat-trick.
Sorry?
I'd love to see your reaction if you got a
Well,
hat-trick.
of course.
God knows what will come out your mouth then.
God knows, but we'll see. I mean, my commentary isn't like listening to BBC or ITV or Sky, by the way. It's very, very different. But it's a live watch along on Saturday. Start at 12 o'clock, kick off 12:30. It is kick off 12:30, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I do sort of commentate on the game, and it does get a bit raucous at times. I think that's fair to say. But it's a good laugh, and it's better than watching the miserable gits on Sky and BT.
Yeah.
So there. Right, Chippers, thanks very much, matey. I hope you have a good one, mate. See you soon.
See you
Bye,
next week. See you.
Right, Louis Von Happiness.
We'll go 2-1
To Newcastle?
to Newcastle, yeah. I
Right.
think we'll get 4 wins on the bout.
Who's going to score?
Let's go Bruno and go on ASM.
ESM.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll be happy with that. Right, take care, mate. Thanks for coming on. Speak
Right.
soon.
Thank you. See you.
Take it easy. Jason,
Yay.
come on, my man. Let's hear it.
Oh, last time I checked the stats against West Ham, we should be winning it easily. We've had some pretty good results against them, but I do think that they're going to put up quite a good game. So I'm going to go for a 3-2 win.
High scoring.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's
a good
going
game
to
to
be a
watch.
very good goal fest down there.
Definitely.
Down here, should I say?
Yeah, I was going to say. John's backdoor says if Wood scores 6 goals, I'm definitely sticking my ass out the window.
John's back door.
Dear me. Who's going to score the goals, Jace?
I think Fraser might grab another goal. Fraser, ASM, and I want Bruno to score. I wanted to score, so I'm going to say Fraser, ASM, and Bruno.
Cool. Right, thanks for coming on, matey. Take care. Speak
No
soon,
probs.
buddy.
Catch you later.
And it's Mr. French Canadian. Come on then, Ryan. Let's have it.
I'm gonna go 2-1, or no, 2-2. Sorry.
2-2.
Yeah, I think
Who's getting the goals for Newcastle?
Joe Willock and Chris Wood.
I mean, Joe Willett can't keep hitting Rose Ed every game. Surely he's got to put one on target eventually.
Yeah, like last game too. Like he had a block shot that could have easily gone in.
I mean, you could say that about most of the block shots, to be fair, because most of them were on target, right? So Max's was also on target, but it was a block shot.
Yeah, listen, we all have opinions, Ryan. Thank you, thank you for yours, matey. Right, thanks for coming on, buddy. See you soon.
Take care, dude.
Take care,
See you
man.
later.
And that concludes the fan forum for another week. Listen, right, thank you to everybody for your comments tonight and joining in with the debate. And I knew it would turn into a bit of a heated one when we talk about Chris Wood, because everybody's got an opinion on him. He splits opinions right down the middle. A lot of people saying he's not good enough. A lot of people saying, yeah, he does a decent job for us. And that's fine. That is what this show is all about. That is what fan forums are all about, is having a debate about certain players and making sure that, you know, keep it adult. You know, there's no need to abuse anybody in the comments just because they have an opinion. That happens on social media. People have opinions and then suddenly there's pylons. It's ridiculous. You know, if somebody has an opinion, as an adult, you respect it. I mean, I'm not talking about Paul Merson or Gabby Agbonlahor here, because they're not opinions. They're just slanderous comments on Newcastle United in the northeast.
Respect, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I know there's really good people, you know, subscribers who come on and watch the shows who don't necessarily agree with what I say, and that's fine. I don't necessarily agree with what you say, Danielle, or you say, Alex, sometimes, but listen, we're adult. We respect each other's opinions and we talk about them. That's what these shows are all about. It's discussing things and getting to know people's opinions and talking about them. There's no need to abuse. You know, even on social media, you've got an opinion, just respect it. Talk about it, but don't slag somebody off because they've got an opinion. You know, and it's just bollocks, to be honest. But listen, thank you to everybody that's had an opinion and made the show what it is tonight. I really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please do consider subscribing. On the way to 10,000, it would be magical if we can get to that level. It would be incredible. Big shout out to Adam Pearson tonight for 20k subscribers.
Wow, I didn't know that. Well done.
Yeah, fantastic job he's doing. You know what? He deserves it. He's out and about all the time. And listen, he can get out and about and do all that sort of stuff. Brilliant. You know, good on him.
Somebody said to me the other day that he's going to get a bench outside the training ground.
Yeah.
I mean,
listen, and he takes a load of trolling as well, but he just ignores them, gets on with it, and
the best way.
and that's why he's doing so well. So hopefully we can catch up there in due course and get up there. And it's certainly, this channel grows on a daily basis, which is fantastic. It's and it's all down to you guys out there. So if you are new and you like what you see, as I say, please do consider subscribing or pass the channel on to friends and family who you think would enjoy it. And you can become a member. Just hit the join button underneath the show, or the link is down below in the description. Thank you to all the super chats tonight. There's a couple came in. I think I've missed a couple of super stickers, so I do apologize for that, but I don't get to see them. For some reason, it doesn't show up on my screen, so I do apologize for that. And a massive shout out to Geordie Riffs, personal guitar repairs and servicing, based here in the good old northeast of England. Any guitar needs, give Graham and Natalie a shout, and they will help you the best they can. They're offering 10% off a repair, 10% off a setup, and your first guitar lesson completely free of charge. The website is linked below in the description. They're also on Facebook and Twitter as well. So massive shout out to Geordie Riffs for the continued sponsorship of the channel. And shows coming up on Thursday night at 8:30. We have the West Ham United versus Newcastle United match preview with myself, Danielle, and Stato. Looking forward to that show. We'll be looking at possible lineups, who can come in at right back, what formations we might play, etc., etc. Saturday, 12 noon, it is myself with the live watch along, and I hope Dan Byrne is celebrating like that on Saturday come the end of the game. I'm looking forward to it. I love doing. I don't get to do a lot of watch alongs, so I'm really looking forward to that one again. And God knows what I'm going to come out with. So it's alternate commentary. It's commentary with a bit of a difference, I think it's fair to say. But you know what? It's a Newcastle fan giving passionate commentary on the team he supports. So that's the way it is. And then at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, it's the match review. So with, again, me, Stato, and Danielle, and we'll be talking about the match that has just been, where we could have gone, where we went right or where we went wrong, what the lineups were, tactics, substitutions, and we want all you guys to take part in that as well, because let us know in the live comments what you thought of the game. So plenty coming up. I will be doing a press conference reaction video on Friday. Any latest news that comes up between now and the live shows, I'll do videos on as well, or I'll go live if it's big news. But just stick your notifications on, and obviously look out on Twitter as well for upcoming shows. But thank you very much, everybody, for tonight. It's been a pleasure. As I say, respectfully respect all the opinions. Be kind, people. Good night.